Logan, over to you.
Ginger, we've got a treat for you. The San Diego Automotive Museum in Balboa Park has just announced the brand new opening. It's a new exhibit. It's called Vision versus Reality. The exhibit will run until October 12th. Here to discuss the new edition is the museum's CEO, Herb Johnson. Good to see you, Herb.
Good to see you.
I'm a big fan of cars, classic cars, older cars. What can people see here at the museum?
Well, this is a very different show. These are iconic vehicles that were produced as models, and some of them never made it to the public. So some really, really unique vehicles that the automotive manufacturers designed as far back as 1936.
Terrific. Will you also learn at the museum how it goes from kind of the designer's mind to actually maybe being on the road?
That's the whole thing we talk about in this exhibit, is how the automobiles were designed. Then we show a little bit about the production models and some of the clay models that they built. And we have an actual few cars that came out of that design period.
Vision versus reality. It sounds like maybe it's kind of form and function. You want to make one that looks beautiful, but it also has to run well and maybe cut down on the airflow.
Well, we had some Lincolns, the Mach II Lincoln Continental, that was made a big deal of. It was a very high-priced car. It was a $100,000 car. Not a lot of people were going to buy them. There was $10,000 at that time would be the equivalent of a $100,000 car. So a lot of those designs were really well thought out, but they never marketed as well as they wanted.
Sure. I wonder if we have any video of some of the cars. It'd be great to see some of the examples as we discuss some of them here. Which one is this?
This is the Dodge Zader. This was produced by Dodge. It's an amazing vehicle. Never quite got to the line. There's the Lincoln we talked about.
Right.
This was a very expensive car, marketed very well.
That was a cool-looking car.
That's a one-off. We have that car in our shop. In fact, there's a half a dozen of these vehicles that are in the shop that are really some cars you've probably never seen. Many of them are prototypes, never went to the line.
Why would they not make it to the road?
Well, this one here did. This is the Buick Invicta, and if you look at the back of that, that was the biggest fins that were ever an American car. And that is an Aerodyne. That is an absolutely spectacular automobile. It's a model. It's a one-off. It's a one-of-a-kind car. You probably won't see it.
How much would that be worth?
Oh, that probably $100,000 it was built. It's irreplaceable now. So it's probably $1 million vehicle.
Had kind of the teardrop almost hubcaps and things like
absolutely.
that?
Beautiful car. Come by and see them. We've got about a dozen of them all lined up for folks.
I look at some of the older cars and some of the cars that you're just showing us. They just don't look like any of the normal cars that we see today. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think they're made for practical reasons. You've got to park them, be able to leave them at a curb, come back, and they're going to be safe. Those vehicles that are all of these collections were designers' creations. I don't think anybody ever thought about them going into parking garages. They thought about the exotic looks of those vehicles. And the reason that they're so popular today is that they ironically don't look anything like the automobiles that were being mass-produced during that period. It's a wonderful collection. I recommend folks come by. There's about 16 of these really beautiful cars in our special collection lot.
Yeah. It seems like there are some people and they just love cars. They go to the shows. They read about them. They want to know about the history and who built them and the designer. What is it about the romantic aspect, do you think, of cars that's so special?
Well, I think, cars right now are kind of something that gets people back and forth. They're very much utilitarian. Yeah. The cars in this collection are anything but utilitarian. These are all beautifully designed cars for specific purposes. Mostly to catch the eye. Yeah. So I think most of these automobiles people have probably never seen before in any collection. It's an astonishing collection of cars and a wonderful voyage to come over and see them.
And you can actually get in them. I mean, maybe not these, but if you get a really great car, you could maybe put the top down and really enjoy a ride up the coast or something. So
they're beautiful cars. Probably not going to be seen on the highway. We also, aside from this collection, have another 40 vehicles in our museum. So it's a lot to take in. You'll be there for a few hours.
That's terrific. Yeah, spend some time. Herb Johnson, San Diego Auto Museum. The exhibit is running until October 12th.
October 12th.
Thank you, Herb.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Look forward to seeing you.
All right, Dave Scott.